Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Nick, aka The Limey, and on this one, the postman's just been, and he's brought me my new Google Pixel 6 Pro. Now, I'm a massive fan of Google. Everything I have in my house is Google. I use Google smart speakers, I use Google to control lights and timers and routines, and all those fun things. The wall behind me is controlled by Google because I've got no idea where the remote control's gone, but it's controlled by Google. So is the lamp, so is the office light. Everything that I use is part of the Google family. I've had the original Pixel, the Pixel 2, 3, 4. I've had most of them and I've really liked them. I stepped away when they went back to that sort of mid-range, low-budget sort of style phones. And I'm back with the 6 Pro. So what is the 6 Pro replacing? And the answer is this. This is my Galaxy S21 Ultra. I've had this for just under a year. And while I've had no issues with the phone, I've quite liked the phone as an actual phone. One of the best things about the phone is the camera. So when I actually bought the phone and when I actually went to use this phone, I thought, you know what, having that amazing zoom, that 108 megapixel capability in a camera would really benefit me. And honestly, it hasn't. One of the nicest things about this phone is the fact it can take 108 megapixel photo. It's got 8K video. Fantastic! And then you try and do something with it. So if you want to snap a picture at 108 megapixels and stick it on an email, that causes an issue. Jump onto Gmail, 2 or 3 pictures, got to send it out to someone, and you've got to go back in and resize every single one of the pictures. The same with the video. You want it on 8K? Great. You can't send it anywhere. You can't send it to anybody. If you want to use WhatsApp, you pinging messages left, right, and center. You want to snap a picture, send it to someone. If you're in that highest resolution and you haven't got Wi-Fi or perfect 5G, 4G signal, it does take quite a while for those to go through. So when they announced they were bringing out the new Pixel Pro, I had to grab one and I had to see what it's all about. So let's see what's in the box, what it's all about, and which version we went for. Ooh, it's so pretty. It's so pretty. So Google this time have gone away from that sort of, that traditional back corner camera. So many cameras, the iPhones, the Samsungs have all got this camera right in the top corner. And Google have sort of moved away from that with this really quite cool sort of ridge line sort of style camera, which makes it quite an interesting thing to look at. It is quite a ridge on there. I mean, it's definitely a ridge, right? It's definitely the sort of thing that you can balance something on. So let's have a look at the Pixel Pro in all its glory and see exactly what it has to offer. So here it is. It's the Pixel Pro 6 in black. They've got funky names for everything, so let me just figure out what the name is. So it's the Pixel 6 Pro in Stormy Black. This is the version that I've gone for, and I've gone for the 256 gigabyte storage. Let's get it booted up. Let's see what it does, and then let's go from there. We're Googling. So what is in the box? Now, interestingly, this time Google haven't sent a power brick. So in the box, we've got the USB-C to USB-C cable. That will be used for charging, transferring data from your old phone to your new phone. If you're moving from an older phone, there's a USB-A connection to USB-C. So you can plug a traditional USB cable in there, straight into a USB-C. And you've got your instruction book on things that you need to do with your Google phone. And that is pretty much it. No headphones, no phone jacks, no power bricks. buttons, nothing like that. And sneakily hidden away on the back of your instructions is the good old SIM removal tool. These things are always a pain to find, especially when you get a brand new phone. If you don't include one of these in the box, I've got no idea. Sticking a pin inside of my Ultra is not something I want to do. So I'll pop that there, nice and safe. And then we've got our good old instructions, so we know what we're doing. And then we've got the Google booklet, which is the quick setup guide, okay? So that's what's included in the box. Give me a few minutes, I'm gonna get the phone set up so we can at least have a little look around it, a little bit of a play, and we'll go from there. So just while the Pixel Pro is connected to my S21 and doing a little bit of an update and backup, I just wanted to give you some stats and some facts about the Pixel Pro. The screen is a 6.7-inch OLED LTPO display. It's got a 120 Hz refresh rate. So it's going to give you some lovely crisp images. I'm just going to figure out what apps I want to copy over, and we'll go onto the camera. Now, the camera on this is going to be one of those things, and the design behind the camera is going to be one of those things that will divide the nation. I'm sure it will. So there'll be the iPhone lovers who just think it's ridiculous, and then there'll be the Pixel fans like me who think it's actually quite sleek. It's somewhere nice. When you hold it, it's great to actually have somewhere to rest your hand. It fits perfectly in the corner of my palm, and there I have it. And I've got somewhere to rest my finger. So that way I know that it's not gonna slip straight out of my hand when I'm doing something, especially with all this high gloss, glassy finish. So in terms of the camera, we've got 3 different types of camera on the back. 3 different things that you can do with that camera. So the first one is a 50 megapixel, and that one is your primary camera. That's the one that's going to do most of all the work. There's the ultra wide. This is only a 12.5 megapixel camera, but that'll give that nice wide shot, and we'll do some photos in a second, and we'll see what they look like. And then the last one is that telephoto lens. This is the one that allows you to zoom in, see what's going on, and that one is rocking a pretty cool and a pretty beefy 48 megapixels. And what that means is between the 3, you've pretty much got every single thing covered. That's your back cameras, and there's also obviously the camera on the front as well. So one of the things that makes the camera on the Pixel Pro so special is that there isn't a lot of camera doing the work. There's a lot of stuff inside the phone, in the chip, in the AI, that's actually working overtime every single time you take a picture. So one of the things I've heard quite a lot of is that everything becomes a lot brighter when you take a picture on a Pixel Pro. So depending on how you sit, it might look a little bit washed out. It might look a little too bright and unrealistic. I've seen some pictures of night photos where taking a picture at nighttime, it looks okay. They've used the Pixel Pro 6, and honestly, you wouldn't know it was nighttime. It's really enhanced the image. The AI's gone overtime and really sort of lifted the colors, lifted everything out of there, and made it so bright that it looks like it's a daytime shot. So again, this is one of those things that I think over the next little while, I'll report back on, I'll have a play with it, and I'll see what differences there are. So the Pixel Pro 6 is now set up. So one of the things that I always find fun when you get a brand new phone is just remembering where all of the buttons are. On the S21, the on-off button, the home button, whatever you want to refer to it, is at the bottom, and the volume rocker is at the top, and typically the volume rocker is at the bottom and the on-off button on the Pixel Pro 6 is at the top. So they're flipped round, which means I'm probably going to end up pressing the volume buttons more than I'm pressing the on-off button. Now, there's been a lot of comments in things that I've read and the feedback that I've read so far about the thumbprint or fingerprint scanner. So this is, as ever, this is an in-glass. I've only done my thumb at the moment, and it is a little bit sluggish. So Google are kind of trying to claim, or they are claiming, that there's some enhanced features in there, which is probably why it's not quite as quick and as snappy as we would expect or we're used to. I'll obviously do the face recognition and the lift to go on So as soon as I pick up the phone, it can see my charming expression, and it can go ahead and get me logged straight in. So what is so special about the Pixel Pro 6 or the Pixel in general? And I think more than anything, it's the very first true Google phone. So normally we've got Google operating system, we've got the Google design, but the innards are just the same potentially as the Samsung Galaxy series. But with this one, we've got a very own Google chip. Now, it claims to be 80% faster than the Pixel 5. I think I've given up on Pixels by the Pixel 4, so I'm not going to have anything personally to compare it to. As a handset, it feels very comfortable in the hand. Like I said, I do like this camera bar. It gives me somewhere to rest my hand so I know exactly where I am on the phone. The buttons, the side buttons, the volume rocker, the on and off all feel lovely and tactile. They've got a little bit of texture to them. And the colors. You can get this. This is the Stormy Black, all black, on black, full black. It's black. But there are other colors that you can get. Let's see what colors they are. Whole new Pixel, vibrant colors. Sort of seafoam, you get kind of a greeny color. You can get kind of coral, gives you a light pink and a dark pink top. And then of course, the version that I've got, the Stormy Black version right here. What I do like when you're transferring data from an old phone to a new phone is this is now already logged in. In fact, the background, I'm not sure if you can see, it's even stolen the background off of my S21, and there it is on my Pixel for me. Let's get that going on. And it's pretty much got everything already set up. YouTube's logged in, my Gmail accounts are all logged in, obviously Google user. But I am a fan of the S21. Like I said, it's been a great phone. I've really enjoyed it. But I am looking forward to getting to know and getting to work with my Google Pixel Pro. So even though this is quite a unique phone in the sense of it's got the bar, people will know that I'm a Pixel user. They'll know I'm that guy. I did want to customize my Pixel Pro a little bit more. So I reached out to my good friends at Dbrand. I say good friends, I order things from them. They have no idea who I am. And this did arrive yesterday, ironically before the actual handset. So I had a bit of an order. So I said they're good friends. They sent me a styrofoam polystyrene chip. See, I got one free. I reached out to these guys because they have some of the coolest wraps and the coolest skins that you can put on your Pixel phones or any of your smartphone devices. For those you remember, I did the dark plates install on my PS5. Interestingly, the dark plates I have are no longer for sale. They've changed the shape completely. Instead of mirroring the PS5, they've gone with a completely new design, so they don't get sued by Sony. But I have the old dark plates, so that will be interesting to see. And I've ordered a black leather, so it's a leather textured effect skin, a black carbon fiber effect, and I had to do it the robot camo. This is probably one of my favorite skins that they did, and this one comes without the Google G, whereas these ones have the cutout in them for the Google G. Just purely because shipping was quite expensive because I'm here in the UK. I ordered everything at once, knowing that at some point I probably will end up having to replace one of the skins or something like that. So, and they do come with Google Gs. So this is the white leather that goes with the black leather. So I've got a white leather G to go on the black leather. I did exactly the same with the carbon fiber. I went for a white carbon fiber G. Really hard for you guys to see. A white carbon fiber G on that one. So they will be super cool, but I think my first one that I will pop on my phone will be my robot camo. I'll give that one a go, and I'll post that in another video soon. So as I mentioned, one of the things that I was really interested in was, of course, using the Pixel Pro camera. So on the video, we've got a traditional video recorder. What's quite cool is you do get options for the stabilization. So the stabilization, you get standard. So if you're a little bit, moving around quite a bit, it'll offset that wobble. There's also locked. So if it's filming far away and you're in a 2x zoom, it will lock it in so you don't get that shudder when you're looking back at the image. There's also active, which is for those people maybe if you're running or you're moving around quite a bit. And then there's cinematic pan. So these are for those swoopy, sweeping shots that you might want to do. We've also got slow motion, we've got time lapse, all of those fun things already built in. With the camera, you've got your different zoom options. You've got your 0.7. I'll try and see if I can do this without looking. 0.7. You've got your 1, your 2. Oh, you're getting on my face. And I've zoomed into ×9. There we go. So you can do it through the slider, or you can do it on the press of the button. One of the things that I think the Pixel will do is it's the user interface. So swipe for options. So simply by swiping down from the top of the camera, you get the options for night sight, top shot, top shot. So that's the one where you take the picture and it picks the best version of it, okay? The timer and of course your image ratio. So if you want to set it for a 16:9 or you want a more traditional Instagram friendly 4:3, okay? And then of course you've got the option for more settings which take you into the menu. This camera, like the 21 and the S21 Ultra, all have a bit of a rattle, and that's those lenses in the back of the camera bar. If you shake them, they do give a bit of a wiggle, and that's because they're moving around when you're trying to take the pictures. So there are a few things that you can do to make your Google Pro 6, or I'm guessing any of the Google Pixel phones, a little more smoother, more reliable. One of the things, as I mentioned, is that fingerprint scanner. It isn't the quickest scanner. So one thing you can do is actually, if you register the same finger multiple times, it will return a quicker result and it will open the phone that bit quicker. Honestly, for me, 9 times out of 10, I'm picking the phone up and by the time I've got it to where I need to, it's already unlocked. So it probably won't be an issue for me. Other little things that you can do to make it a little more easy is things like using the gestures. If you double tap at the back of the Pixel, you can set it to take a screenshot. So taking a screenshot traditionally is a pain in the neck, but give it a little tap, double tap, and it will just take a screenshot. The amount of screenshots that I've got that have got the volume, because it used to be push the bottom volume button and double click the side button at the same time, 99% of the times I ended up adjusting the volume before I managed to get my screenshot, okay? One of the other things that I think is probably one of the things I'm excited for on the Pixel Pro 6 is the now playing history. As you're walking around, as you're, if you're a bit of an audiophile or a music fan like I love music, and I'm one of those people that love songs. I don't know the words, I don't know the artist, I've got no idea what the name of that song is. On the Pixel Pro, it actually has a little bit of a function that will give you a song history. So to make sure this is turned on, it's really, really simple. In your settings, on the display, go to your lock screen, and then there's quite a few things you can actually activate from the lock screen, such as your wallet. If you want to use the Google Pay function, you can do that from the lock screen. But there's also a now playing option, and this will just basically log all songs it hears as you're wandering around, and you'll have a full history of all the music you heard that day. You may want to turn this off if you're in places where you might not want the music capturing if you're in places you might not want to be like, I was in Tesco's today and I heard this song, and you scroll through and there's the 47 songs from the strip club you were at. Maybe turn it off. Don't do that. Don't get caught. Safety first. So one thing I will, I'm sure, find very, very useful is the Google Translate mode. This now works in a much smoother and a much slicker way. If you get anything coming in a foreign language, it should automatically detect and translate it to your native language as set by the phone's default. But the other side of that is now you can talk into the phone and it should be able to pick up a foreign language and translate it back to English, or of course vice versa. Now to make that work, translator mode.
Okay, what language do you want translated?
And then everything you say will go from an English into, let's do some French. So we're going, I speak English,
French.
they speak French. Hi, how are you?
Salut, comment ça va?
So this is the sort of thing that will make your life easier if you are traveling.
C'est le genre de choses qui vous facilitera la vie si vous voyagez.
True story.
Justine.
So that is one of the functions and features that I'm sure I will get to use, because as you know, I run a travel company, and when I'm not doing this sort of thing, I'm trying my best to get all over the world and go to as many fun and exciting places as possible. Another cool feature they've left on this is actually a notification history. If you're like me, I've got quite a few different Instagram accounts. I monitor and manage them for my wife, for my father-in-law. I've got 3 or 4 accounts myself between the YouTube channels, my personal, as well as WhatsApp for work, WhatsApp personally. I've got quite a lot of different things, multiple email accounts, all sending notifications to my smartphone. Sometimes you just get swipe happy and dismiss all of those notifications. On the Google Pixel Pro, they've left it so you can have notification history. So you can actually go back and see what those notifications were. I find it really annoying when I see something, I think I've seen something, but I've dismissed it, and I've got no idea if it was a WhatsApp, a text message, or an email. So that's kind of one of the things that I think I find really, really useful. So on first impressions, I think it's a pretty cool phone. I'll be excited to use this over the next few weeks, few months, and I will do probably a 1 month on with my Pixel Pro. My poor wife tonight will probably become a smartphone widow, as I will spend most of my night playing with this, changing things around and making it my own personal phone. With the the S21 Ultra, I never really got past sticking, I have TikTok on my home screen, I have my emails and my Instagram, and that's all I have on this phone. As far as shortcuts and icons on the home pages, normally I have folders for social media apps, I have folders for banking and Google things and this things and that things. I never got that far on the S21 Ultra. So I'm hoping that I can get back to that with the Pixel Pro, and I can really make it my own personal customized phone that really just suits me. Okay, so that's one of the things I'll probably be doing over the next few days. I'll try and get some pictures up on my Instagram so you guys can see it. And the other thing, speaking of customization, on this phone is you can change all of the app colors, all of the OS colors, everything, not just light mode and dark mode, but you can change all of the apps and everything to be really much more color coordinated, customized into something how you want it to look. And that's not a third-party app, that's just something that's built straight in to the phone. That was my first text message coming through. I feel so special, the window cleaner's coming. It's one of those things. Happy day, happy day. Happy day, happy day. Guys, thank you so much for watching. My name is Nick, AKA The Limey. If you've enjoyed this really quick overview, an excited sort of rant and a ramble about the Pixel Pro 6, then please leave me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. It really does help this little channel grow. If, like me, you're a content creator, do me a favor, leave me a like, give me a comment, tell me how many mistakes I made about the tech specs of the Pixel Pro. Tell me you enjoyed it. Tell me you hated it. Tell me something. Leave a comment. Give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. And guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I'll catch you on the next one.